Bonsoir tout le monde. On va commencer tranquillement. On sent une belle fébrilité. J'aimerais saluer les gens qui sont à distance grâce à notre partenaire, l'agence Web Diffusion. Parce qu'on est beaucoup ici, mais on est aussi beaucoup en ligne. On est en Web Diffusion. Mon nom, c'est Jean-Benoît Aubé. Je suis directeur des partenariats privés pour l'École des entrepreneurs. J'aimerais commencer par une question. À main levée, qui a déjà eu des formations du stage entrepreneuriat, du stage accompagnateur d'entrepreneurs ou de l'École des entrepreneurs? Donc, j'étais rendu à vous dire qu'on avait un kiosque en arrière. Pour ceux qui sont en ligne, ils peuvent aller voir notre site Internet, eemtl.com. On a aussi tout au niveau de nos médias sociaux, là, vous pouvez nous suivre sur la page Facebook, etc., etc. J'aimerais remercier l'équipe des Fuckup Nights d'avoir accepté notre invitation de venir faire leur événement ici pendant la Semaine mondiale de l'entrepreneuriat. Pour ceux qui veulent partager des moments de cette soirée, nos 2 mots-clics à nous, je ne sais pas si le Fuckup Night qui ont des mots-clics, mais nos 2, puis les hashtags pour ceux qui sont anglophones. Nos 2 mots-clics, c'est EEMTL, donc pour École des entrepreneurs de Montréal. Et au niveau de la Semaine mondiale, c'est SME, Semaine mondiale d'entrepreneuriat, Canada, dans un seul mot. Puis ce serait le fun de montrer au reste du Canada qu'au Québec, ça brasse pendant la semaine puis qu'on est actif. Sur ça, je vous souhaite une bonne soirée, puis au plaisir.
Merci. All right. Bonjour tout le monde. Merci d'être venus. Merci aux écoles des entrepreneurs, vraiment, pour nous accueillir ce soir. C'est une soirée très spéciale. C'est notre fête 1 an de Fuckup Nights à Montréal. Alors, je m'appelle Nathalie Rivière. C'est un grand plaisir d'être ici avec vous. Je vais inviter mon équipe, Vanessa Mugler de Quo Vadis, Josh Miller de Fuller Landau, P Visio et Today's Entrepreneurs sur la radio.
Hello.
Et Louis-Félix Binet de Creative Mornings et plein d'autres choses à Montréal. Et santé aussi à notre partenaire Bose All Natural. Santé à tout le monde. Oh, here you go.
Thank you.
Share the failure. Fuckup Nights, c'est un mouvement qui a commencé en 2012 au Mexique. We're going to also speak in English tonight. This is a Montreal event, so los dos idiomas. I will throw Spanish in there. We are a multicultural city, and respect to the origin of Fuckup Nights. It's happening now in over 275 cities around the world. We were the 2nd city in Canada after Ottawa. This is Jason Connell from Fuckup Nights Ottawa. He's also now working with the Fuckup Nights international team as the international coordinator. And so we're just going to share a bit about Fuckup Nights exceptionally tonight with you, since we have him here to celebrate this 1 year, and share a little bit about the organization, because it started with a few friends over beer talking about failures. It moved to a few more people that could relate to that, and now has transferred into a movement about transparency in business, a movement about talking about the things that we don't usually talk about. It's happening most successfully in countries that have cultures that are taboo against failure. I'll let Jason talk a little bit more about that, and we'll introduce to you the Failure Institute that has developed from all this, which has actually got some incredible research going on and is working with public policy and really influencing how business is perceived, and also how it's educated and how it's influencing everyone around the world. So Jason, you want to come up and share a little bit while we have you here?
Yay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Hi, everyone. Hi. I'm going to speak in English because, unfortunately, my français c'est terrible. I'm from Toronto, so yeah. Anyways, I'm really happy to be here tonight. It's amazing, honestly. I joined with the movement when we were like 50 cities, and to see our little foul-mouthed movement move to 270 cities has just been absolutely amazing. And I think it kind of speaks to this kind of switch in perception when it comes to failure. I think sometimes, a lot of the time, we have such a personal attachment to our work, and we measure our worth by what we produce. And so when it doesn't go as planned and doesn't go well, there's a certain shame and a certain sort of embarrassment that goes along with it. which shouldn't be the case. I have failed many times in my life. I've been fired from jobs twice. I single-handedly took down the servers of a client-facing company because I fucked with their DNS settings. I have crashed and burned companies. But I will tell you this, I've learned something from every single one of those failures that I have used in other companies that made those companies better. Because of it. So I'm really glad you're all here tonight. The movement has grown, like Natalie said, to 270 cities. And then within the last year, we decided to do the Failure Institute. So the Failure Institute is a research firm that's kind of based off of Fuckup Nights that researches why businesses fail and the demographics of people who fail and what happens when they fail and what do they do when they fail. We were finding that we were getting all this awesome data from events just like this, but we weren't really doing anything with it. And so we've taken that data into the Failure Institute to kind of make positive changes in policy, in education, and in business decisions. So very recently, actually, we had a forum with the Mexican government. So in Mexico, it's very easy to open a business. It is extremely hard to close a business. And so that was deterring a lot of entrepreneurs from pursuing that pathway. So we actually had one of our data researchers, Mel, meet with a bunch of delegates and policymakers with the Mexican government and made actual changes to policy, which was a big step for us. So I don't want to take... Yeah, so we're also developing a number of private events as well. So companies are asking us to now come to their company and deliver an internal fuck-up night, which is absolutely amazing. We've been dealing with brands like Philip Morris, NBC Universal, Microsoft, big brands that I would never expect you to see fuck up next to their name or within their business, but it's happening, which is really cool and I think speaks to a shift in perception and kind of a shift in how we perceive failure and how we label failure. Thank you. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the event. Thank you so much for coming. Honestly, these events wouldn't exist if not for people like you coming to them again and again. So thank you very much, and here's to another year.
Merci. I actually had a great conversation with Jason and some of the global team this week, and they were sharing how, you know, not only speakers and even hosts, but participants, especially in the private ones and companies, have been writing them emails. They get them all the time saying, you know, that they might have even been suicidal, that this was actually something that really changed their life and made them feel not so alone, that people fail. That was my motivation. I got introduced to Fuckup Nights in Mexico. I was asked to bring it to Montreal. Je suis très, très contente, un an après, de vous voir tous ici. Je voyais une opportunité de rejoindre la communauté entre les langues, entre les institutions, les écoles et aussi les entreprises. Alors, merci de soutenir ce changement et mouvement à Montréal. Les soirées Fuckup Nights, alors, ça arrive, on a 3 invités, 3 entrepreneurs qui parlent. Ils ont 10 minutes. We can say fuck. And it's casual. So, on peut changer les langues. It's 10 minutes, 7 minutes for the presentation. We get a 3-minute Q&A. We have Josh, who's going to be timing and animating our questions. Louis is going to welcome our speakers. So Louis, maybe right away, let's dive in. Encore une fois, merci tout le monde. Merci aux partenaires. Santé. And hashtag Find the Fun. We'll be on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Don't be shy to join the party.
I'm going to be on Snapchat, if you want to find me there. No, I'm just joking. On va faire ça très, tu sais, là, il y a des gens qui sont arrivés, il y a beaucoup de gens, c'est leur première fois. Qui c'est leur première fois ici, s'il vous plaît, à Fuckup Nights? Wow! Beaucoup de first-timers. Pas la dernière. C'est la première fois qu'on fait ça ici à l'École des entrepreneurs. Donc, quand vous êtes arrivés, vous avez vu, c'était tout un peu fou parce qu'on était un peu en dehors de notre zone de confort. On va avoir 3 conférenciers, conférencières. Je pense que les 2 premiers vont parler en anglais et le 3e en français. On fait ça Montreal style. Mais ils sont tous bilingues. Donc, dans la période des questions, vous vous sentez vraiment à l'aise de poser les questions dans la langue que vous voulez. Au pire, on va traduire. Mais donc, voilà, c'est la mode Fuckup Night, c'est la mode Montréal. Alors, sans plus tarder, je vais vous présenter notre première conférencière. Son nom, c'est Claudine Larivière. Elle est nutritionniste et aussi stratège en productivité humaine. Donc, un choix logique quand on est nutritionniste. Non, mais c'est vrai, quand on est nutritionniste, on contrôle ce qui rentre dans notre usine, qui est notre corps, et ensuite, il faut gérer la productivité. Donc, presque tout le temps. Moi, je ne contrôle pas, c'est McDonald's qui décide. Elle voulait qu'on fasse un selfie avec vous en arrière, parce qu'il y a tellement de monde. Viens de ce côté-ci. Right? Tout le monde, on fait un gros smile pour Claudine. Faites des bye-bye. Yeah!
Oh, merci.
Donc, on va juste l'encourager, parce que Claudine, c'est quelqu'un qui n'est pas nerveux dans la vie. Okay? She's not nervous, so we want to really give her a lot of energy so she feels her nerves, right? So, on l'applaudit très fort.
Hey, ta bière. That's yours. Yeah, you need the clicker? That's yours. Yeah, I have the clicker. Oh. Okay. I don't drink beer. Skip the video?
The next slide.
How do I do this? This? Yeah, that's me. All right, so I'll speak English just because I thought it was an English event. However, je parle très bien français. Je suis francophone, so at the end, if you have questions, please feel free to use the language that you use. So I'm Claudine, and I fuck up all the time. And when I'm not fucking up, I'm actually a dietitian and human productivity strategist. That's what I do for a living. So I work with my clients for more than 10 years now, and I help them reach their full potential through health and nutrition. This is the expertise I build for myself. So first off, little clicker. All right. I'm just going to introduce myself a little bit and my journey so that you understand where the fuck-ups come from. I come from a family of entrepreneurs, uncles, grandfathers, cousins, aunts. They're all highly successful, and they pretty much all made their first million already. And one of them was my godfather before he died. And my godfather raised me like I was his daughter, basically. And he taught me all the entrepreneurial concepts, the financial freedom. And he always told me to rock this world. So this is what I decided to do with my life. And then when I received my letter of acceptance from McGill University, as you might understand, it kind of intensified and increased their expectations for my future. So it put a lot of pressure on my shoulders, and up until now, I'm still putting a lot of pressure on my shoulders. And after graduation, I got this amazing position at the Montreal Children's Hospital, where I gained so much valuable knowledge, and I worked with amazing, brilliant people, which I'm still grateful for. That was an amazing experience. And of course, along the way, me being an entrepreneur, I decided to start alongside my private practice, and I started coaching people and building my business and gaining more and more clients. And about 5 years ago, I met a business partner at the gym where we used to work together. He loved the idea of my business that I had, so we partnered up and we created Pluriel. I don't know if you've heard about it, but Pluriel is a business, a service business that's designed to implement health and wellness on the work site. And unfortunately, this business really didn't take off. Is it bad timing? Maybe we were too ahead of time in terms of the industry and the economy. And I think, and I still think, that I didn't make the right partnership at that time. So what I decided to do is buy him out, literally buy him out. And I started operating under my own personal branding, the one that you just saw before, the slide before. And I realized that all along, that was the real deal. That was really what made me sustainable and confident and growing as a person and as an entrepreneur. All right? So I wrote solo. That's it. And obviously, there's a lot of lessons that I've learned. And the 3 big lessons I want to share with you today is: stop wanting to please everyone, y'all. You can't please everyone. It's impossible. You got to focus on you. You got to focus on who you are, your mission, your goal, what you want to accomplish, and you got to pay yourself first. Especially women, please pay yourself first. Because we're just like, oh, like I want this guy to like me and I want this partner to be, you know, sticking around because he gets business from me. You got to stop doing this. You really have to focus on yourself first. All right? Yeah. Who recognize themselves?
Is that okay from not a woman?
Yeah, it's okay. I was just like winking at them, you know? And then lesson number 2, and that's a big one for me. Spend money that you have, not the one that you don't have. Yes, when you start a business, you do have to invest some sort of money in your startup for legal purposes, or you got to pay your providers, and maybe also invest for acquiring some infrastructure depending on the business that you're in. However, if you do not need it now, and or if it can't wait, do not spend that money that you don't have. Okay? And there's one saying I want to share with you. Fake it till you make it. Really? What does that even mean? I get confused every time because I'll be really honest with you. I have half of my mentors and coach who are just like, yeah, you got to fake it till you make it. And half of them are just like, no, just do your thing, girl. Just do your thing. To me, if I had faked it till I make it, I would not have all the beautiful people coaching me and advising me and helping me on a daily basis, the ones that are in my life right now and making me grow. If I had faked it till I make it, I would not have learned to embrace my struggles and use them as a source of motivation to better myself as an entrepreneur, but also as a human being. Does that make sense? So I don't know about you. I don't know how it resonates with you. But for me, I don't want to fake it till I make it. I want to be true. I want to be authentic. I want to be real. And I want to share my fuck-ups with you guys. All right, lesson number 3. Listen to your gut feeling. Yes, yes, yes. And you already have the answers. Actually, you already feel the answers when you think about it. Take a step back. Every time you had to take a really major decision for yourself, you knew it right away. Why? Because you know who you are, you know what you want, you know your values. So if it's hard, if it's blocking, if you would choose something else, if you had other options, then stop, take a step back, and be patient. Saying no to something that is not aligned with you and doesn't make you feel good is saying yes to something that it is, right? And that was it. No questions?
Non, stay.
questions?
Non,
Okay.
reste. Il y a des questions certaines.
Questions?
Des questions dans la salle?
Come on, I just break the ice here.
Everybody can hear me, so I have
On va parler dans le micro parce qu'on est en web diffusion.
OK. Mais là, il est pas allumé, je pense.
OK.
Yeah.
T'insistes. Donc, une question, parfait ici.
Salut. Qu'est-ce que tu as fait quand tu as dépensé de l'argent que tu n'avais pas?
Oh my God. Debt, in debt. I actually had to do a consumer proposal, une proposition consommateur. I mean, that's a fuck up, right? Mais c'est un résultat d'un bigger fuck up. De ne pas avoir mieux appris après l'argent. Moi, j'avais eu beaucoup de problèmes avec ma relation avec l'argent. Donc, avec les années, j'ai beaucoup accumulé de dettes. Et j'étais comme, it's all good, ça va venir, ça va venir, ça va venir. And one thing, by the way, and reminder to myself, if it's not written on a paper, and c'est pas accompagné d'un non-refundable clause, notice, it's not yours yet. So you always have to make sure that you have the money before you spend it. Ouais. Fait que j'ai été bien dans la merde, là. Ouais.
How long did it take for you to realize that you shouldn't be with your partner?
Oh.
And was there a specific moment that happened?
Yeah.
Where, you know.
When he started another business along the way. I was like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm kind of confused. I don't understand what we're selling anymore. I'm like, dude, it's been 3 years into the business. Wake the fuck up, you know? So I said, you know what? All right, it's cool. No problem. I'm going to buy you out. Just like your previous investment, and that's it. Yeah.
Cool. Une autre question? Dans la salle? Oui.
Est-ce qu'il y avait un moment où tu t'es dit, that's it, genre, tu t'es posé la question, je peux plus être un entrepreneur, là, c'est comme, je vais me pogner un autre job, puis combien de temps ça a duré?
Ça arrive encore. Mais je ne peux pas retourner en arrière. Il y a un moment donné, je pense que quand tu te lances en entrepreneuriat, tu sais, tu as le succès financier, mais tu as plein d'autres succès aussi que malheureusement, on ne value pas dans notre société, mais il y a plein de beaux succès aussi, puis on a tendance à juste regarder nos accomplissements puis notre succès en fonction de notre statut financier. Donc, j'ai commencé à mettre ça de côté puis faire comme, hey, sois patiente, la grande, là. Puis il y a plein de belles choses, en fait, que j'ai réussi, mais there's no way back, parce que tout le freedom de moi, je fais ce que je veux quand je veux, je travaille de où je veux quand je veux. Ça n'a pas de prix. Fait que, à tous les jours, des fois, je doute, mais jamais je retournerai en arrière. Ouais.
Cool. Merci à Claudette. Oh. Don't worry. C'est pas si ça fonctionne ou non. Mais ne t'inquiète pas parce qu'on reste par après. Alors, il y a 2 autres conférenciers avec plein des histoires, mais après, il en reste encore de la bière, du popcorn. Alors, pour les questions, you can always ask them one-on-one right after. Louis-Félix.
Yeah! Hey, merci, Claudine, d'avoir brisé la glace. Donc, pour notre deuxième conférence, juste vous dire, là, il y en a qui sont peut-être à sec, il reste encore de la bière. Si vous en voulez, on peut se faire la chaîne, on peut passer des bières pleines qui sont dans la glace, dans le frigo, dans le lavabo, là, puis se les passer. Mais gênez-vous pas, c'est vraiment, comme je vous disais, c'est à la bonne franquette, là, les Fuckup Nights. Là. On n'est pas pincé, on n'a pas... Si on a le droit de dire fuck, on a-tu le droit de dire qu'on n'a pas de bâton de balai dans le cul? Right? Bon. Notre deuxième conférencier, c'est quelqu'un qu'on a eu l'occasion, comme Nathalie disait, j'ai été hôte de Creative Mornings, fondateur de Creative Mornings à Montréal. C'est un conférencier qu'on a eu la chance d'avoir il y a déjà 1 an et demi à peu près sur le thème risque. Donc, c'est vraiment intéressant d'avoir quelqu'un qui est venu nous parler de sa position, de son approche par rapport au risque, il y a 1 an et demi, qui reviennent sur scène maintenant à Fuckup Nights. On va passer de Creative Mornings à Fuckup Nights pour venir parler d'échecs. Donc, c'est une personne, je pense qu'aujourd'hui, on a dans nos conférences, c'est des gens très équilibrés, zen. Donc, des gens qui sont, oui, entrepreneurs, mais qui ont un gros focus sur être centré, être conscient, être présent. C'est quelqu'un que j'admire beaucoup, qui a eu une très, très grosse carrière comme consultant, personne d'affaires, comme investisseur. Puis, depuis à peu près 1 an, Julian, presque 2 ans maintenant, ça va vite. De presque 2 ans, il est devenu CEO de Rise Kombucha, une entreprise qui avait accompagné dans ses débuts déjà pour gérer la croissance. Puis là, la croissance est devenue tellement grande qu'il est devenu PDG. Et donc, il va venir nous partager quelques histoires, une ou quelques histoires, je ne sais pas trop. On va voir. Surprise. Quelques histoires d'échecs. Donc, j'aimerais que vous applaudissiez très fort pour accueillir le PDG de Rise Kombucha, Julian Giacomelli.
Merci. Merci tout le monde et encore pour l'invitation de m'exprimer en anglais puisque after a long day of terrible French, I want to have the chance to say the most that I can in the next 6 minutes and 41 seconds.
Starting now.
So I thought I would share with you one fuck up. I said it at least once. I don't swear a lot. One fuck up, in a success story from a company called Crudescence. Who's here has heard of Crudescence? Wonderful. So nobody in the room. So the backstory is we're rolling the clocks back to around 2009. I had met David and Simon and Mathieu, and together we had formed, right around that time, 2 new businesses, Crudescence and Rise Kombucha, sisters, as it were, in the world of business. Rise went on and is continuing. Crudescence had a meteoric growth. You know, we spawned a new generation of entrepreneurs in food, in business, and we had a ball. Now, it was not this is not the story of Crudescence, the fuck up. This is the story of Crudescence that had one little fuck up in it that might have made a big difference. In 2009, we were all working in a space around this size, and in that space we had about 10 businesses for real. We were making kombucha, we were making food for a restaurant, we were catering, we were doing prêt-à-manger, we were doing produits maison. We were teaching people how to do all that, and when there was classes, we had to close the office. And when the office was open and the phone rang, the blenders had to stop, so it was complicated. So we needed to move. So we had said, you know, we have this model, we do all these things, and my amazing partner, and we had just gotten into business together. In fact, David and I probably hadn't even signed our deal, but I was like full in, and he said, I found the place. So we were in about 1,000 square feet, which is, you know, Jesse, it's about 1,000 square feet here. Yeah, thanks. And David's like, I signed the lease for 5,000 square feet across the street. And we were like, whoa. And maybe he didn't actually come in sign, but he had made his mind up. And as an entrepreneur, you know when you have that heart. He was like, we're doing it. Did a bit of the back of the envelope math. And, you know, there was a way to make it look okay. Remember that. You know, it was going to be a bit of a stretch for how much it would cost to build out the space, and it would be a little bit of a stretch to figure out how we were going to make it all pay. But actually, you know, when you run the numbers in one of the scenarios, it really looked like we could make it work. So we doubled down, we signed the place. And, you know, again, just to be clear, Credescence eventually had a series of restaurants. This was really the central kitchen that underpinned all of what we did, because in raw food in the day, you had to soak your nuts and dehydrate, and it's complicated, as they say on Facebook. So we signed the lease, and it took us a year to build it. So imagine we're still in the 1,000 square feet, phone rings, blender stops, classes on Wednesday, etc. While across the street we had 5,000 square feet were empty. And we were slowly building with the money we had. Eventually, after about 8 months, we sent the office over there, which made lots of sense because the office was there, but the kitchen was back on the other side of the street where the blenders were going and the phones were ringing. So eventually we moved everyone in about a year later, and we had two sets of costs. We made it work. We launched businesses. We grew our prêt-à-manger. We opened restaurants because at the end of the day, we had signed up for this big space that we know we needed, that was the right kind of space, maybe a little big. Continuing to fast forward the story, because I want to come back to and get into what the fuck-up was. Just to play out, it's not the end of Credescence, but we sold the business last year to a great Montreal entrepreneur, a group called Evoluco, and they are doing what they need to with it. But if we look at the very end, Credescence had run into some very significant problems around profitability. Not passion, not lack of products, not even a decent margin, but the overall profitability of the business was challenging, and we had a tough year in 2015. Restaurants got battered, and it just became obvious that it needed some more love and money, and we weren't able to bring that, so we sold it. And you know, we were helping a little bit the current owners, and it's going to live on in some form. It's not a fuck-up. It was one of the best stories of my entrepreneurial life. But the core learning here, and I don't really love the word failure, except in a very narrow sense of the word, but we needed to move. So the rule number one about entrepreneurship as you're growing is you don't undertake the next step until you really need to. So we did that, we did okay with that. There was no question that we needed to move something and get the space bigger, you know, to get to a better model to make sure things would work. But, and really, the first lesson is careful about the stories you tell yourself. So when David walked in that day, I could have taken 2 days of time to really look in more detail and see that, you know, if you exaggerate the margin a little bit and you make the sales go faster, it always looks good on paper. But if you take the time to look at the sort of more pessimistic scenario, it would have taken us about 10 years to build out, not to build out, to be able to rentabilize the space. So number one, careful of the stories you tell yourself. You gotta follow your gut. But you also have to remember that the gut can be influenced by a vivid imagination. And until you have that clear discernment as to what's gut and what's fantasy, be careful. Lesson really number two, and I could get into a lot of business discussion about double margins and why it was challenging. The business isn't or wasn't doomed to failure, was right at the moment that we should have been exploring which of those products was the most profitable, what the model needed to be. We doubled down, had to build something 5 times bigger, and spent the next 5 years sort of chasing profitability built based on one decision. So the third sort of ninja level learning from this is it's really, you know, my experience in entrepreneurship is most of the time when we know the things that are going to happen, they're usually quite accurate. The problem is it always takes about twice as long. So I always say it's a crystal ball gazing. So I know what's going to happen. I know we need to do that. Usually it's the right thing or two. Maybe the order is reversed. But in retrospect, the timing is always off. Sometimes the order is shifted and it takes much longer. So be accurate with the forecast, understand what you need to do, but then at the end, be very careful about stepping too far at once. Nonetheless, you know, this was not a failure, even though Crudescence, maybe for some of the investors, and the outcome wasn't what we wanted. The restaurants are all closed. And there are people here, I see the room, that I haven't seen since the Crudescence days, really. It's touched, even in this room, there's 15 people that have worked with us, and obviously customers. So follow your dreams. If David had walked in and I said, it's not going to work, and sent him out, that's not the outcome we would have looked. Maybe there would have been an in-between solution. Instead of rushing ahead with this one lease that was a huge commitment, that ended up being a challenge when we had to sort of pivot. It's hard to pivot with a 5,000 square foot, you know, loft on your butt, right? So imagine that. And what it taught me more than anything else, because we made it despite this particular decision, was learning all the time and moving as possible with what is. And we still managed an amazing business despite this one particular fuck up. Thank you very much.
Merci, Julien. Don't go anywhere. We're still on the spot. Des questions? Any questions? Yeah.
Qu'est-ce qui a été le déclic pour toi de vendre la compagnie?
De vendre?
Ouais.
On est rendu, on avait essayé pendant plusieurs années, on a ouvert et plusieurs fermés d'autres restaurants. On savait ce qu'il fallait faire, mais ça prenait de l'argent pour aller à l'avant. Il fallait déménager finalement encore de cette place. On n'avait pas les sous. Donc, on est allé, pas au fond, là, mais presque. Mais c'était comme, on est rendu à une place où il y avait quand même 2 années de profit réel. Donc, tout allait dans la bonne direction, mais il y avait cette année quand même difficile. On était spread out, puis scattered. Et à cause de ça, quand il y a eu le choc, on était un peu exposed, puis on n'avait pas l'argent pour faire ce qu'il fallait faire pour vraiment s'assurer de la survie du business.
Other questions? Yeah. There you go first.
Do you think having more focus on one of your businesses, you mentioned several businesses that were running at the same time, do you think that back in the day, had you focused on a single business through this house or another one, you might have been more successful?
Yeah, and I was actually speaking of 10 different businesses under the Crudescence roof. So yes, and we weren't at the place of really understanding. They were all interdependent because it was all around raw foods, and the kitchen made the same preparations for the restaurant, for the classes. So we would have needed a little bit more time to figure out not so much which was the best, business model instead of launching all of them. That would have been the right thing to do, to focus more. But it needed a little more time to get there. We didn't have the time because it was like, okay, let's replicate the whole thing over there 10 times bigger.
Another question here. Ici, question? Oui.
Oui, Diane, vas-y.
Yeah. Est-ce que...
Donc, Diane m'a demandé if we moved too early into too big a place. Or too big a place. It was definitely too big a place. Yeah, it was just maybe a little too big.
You know, you're dealing with a lot of your food, your recipes. You must have gone through a ton of recipes that some of them just didn't work at all. Any big fuck-up recipes that just never happened?
Yeah, well, they were called like the chef's meals, and we left them in the fridge. I mean, we had voting, and there was some particular standouts that actually, even the ones that were rejected and fucked up, made it later on the sort of comfort menu. I can remember a couple in particular. Yeah, lots of failures, lots of fermented, fizzling failures in the kitchen. You know, almost living food, or almost breathing food.
Like rice. Just take one last question. Yeah, in the back.
That's a great question. The question was really, what would it have taken for us to make that decision better at the time? And it would have taken a more gelled team who knew each other, and I had just jumped in. My gut was probably saying, whoa, but I wanted to please my new partner. It's not the right moment. So it would have taken me or maybe asking my business partner, hey, how do we slow David down here? Because the truth is he was like that kind of guy that just went. And I mean, that served us hugely well. But in that particular moment, I wish I had been a better business partner and said, I totally disagree. And I didn't. So thanks.
So Julian sticking around. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup, Julien.
Natalie, you want to come here? Apparently, we didn't coordinate, but it's Purple Nights.
We bring this suit from the color purple.
Vanessa, are you wearing purple? Where are you?
Where are you?
No?
She's hiding in the back.
I have a pocket square for you.
Take a photo.
All right.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Julian. All right. Pour la dernière partie, c'est là où on organise des événements sur l'échec, puis c'est comme si on ne voudrait pas se permettre d'échec, mais là, on va comme débrancher un ordinateur puis brancher un autre ordinateur. C'est là que ça chie d'habitude. All right. Ça va-tu marcher? Ta-ta-da-da. On peut-tu mettre la musique de jazz? All right. Le troisième entrepreneur qu'on vous présente ce soir, tu vas parler en français, Patrick? Les deux? OK, il va parler en bilingual. Je ne veux pas voler tes punchs, OK, mais je vais te présenter quand même. C'est un gars avec une énergie incroyable que j'ai rencontré à quelques reprises, puis pendant des années, il me parlait de son idée. On était dans un coin à Sud de Montréal. Félix, j'ai cette affaire-là. Il faudrait que je le fasse. Puis je suis comme, oh my God, c'est tellement une bonne idée. Moi aussi, je pense souvent à ça. Puis il faut que je le réalise. Puis il a essayé plein d'affaires. Puis il a fini par le faire. Puis c'est hot. OK? Fait que des fois, là, un projet entrepreneurial, là, c'est comme une petite affaire qu'on garde pour soi. Là, puis ça nous gruge en dedans. Puis là, on le polie. Puis on dit, il me semble que ce serait bon, ce serait bon. Puis un moment donné, il a juste comme dit fuck that, puis il est allé en avant, puis il est allé full speed. Puis c'était peut-être exactement le bon moment, puis c'était peut-être exactement le temps qu'il fallait qu'il prenne pour attendre, mais il l'a fait. Je sais qu'il va vous en parler un petit peu, fait que je ne vends pas le punch, mais j'aimerais qu'on accueille très fort Patrice Marié de Les Cabinets.
Merci beaucoup. Merci. Bonsoir. Merci beaucoup de l'introduction. Est-ce que vous m'entendez bien? Oui, OK, parfait. Alors, c'est ma première slide. J'avais juste vraiment envie de le mettre. I'll speak in English and French because I like to. And I just really wanted to write that because you'll know, for those of you that don't know what Les Cabinets is basically that we optimize the bathroom experience in events. So I deal with shit every day. But I want to tell you how I got there because it is an idea that I had in my mind for a while. And as a serial entrepreneur, after a while, I learned to wait before starting another business. I could start one every week, but then you have to keep it going, you know? So I'm more of a creator than anything else, and I like that. I think we as entrepreneurs, we have ideas, but it's good to think about them. And I want to share a story about the business I had just before Les Cabinets, because they're kind of linked. Together, for those of you who knew, maybe some of you have heard about them. It was called Growers & Co. And Growers & Co. was a company about small-scale farming. It was really about changing the ideas that we have about farmers and farming and making them growers and making it wonderful and beautiful. And I had a good friend. I have a good friend, Jean. He's still my friend. Ex-partners, but still a great friend. I mean, I had many businesses, and I could tell you a lot about fuck-ups and good stuff, and I think, you know, it's all good along the way because it leads you to where you're at and what you have to learn along the way. But basically, Growers & Co. was an idea about just promoting small-scale farming. And as an entrepreneur, it's very important for me to do something, you know, that with a conscience and that, you know, can bring a positive effect on the world. And I mean, I like to sell something. I like to talk about something that fits with my values. So that fitted with my values, but I didn't really know much about it. You know, I was attracted to it, but my partner is an expert writer, conference around the world. He's in Germany right now. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to brand it, and you're going to talk about it, and we're going to have a good time, and we're going to do it. And we kind of get it went really fast, and the market is there, and it was beautiful, and we had a whole website set up, and we were like basically selling tools, and we have a community, and we had workshops online, and that's about 2 years ago that we stopped, and it was really fun until we really had to do it. It was. So we did all that, and then, now we need tools. So now we got to get tools. Okay, we're going to wear, these tools are from whatever, Sweden, from France, from the States, this is all like tools without, manual stuff, and really beautiful tools, but old ones. And anyway, it was really hard. Basically, we started doing import-export, something I don't know nothing about. And I mean, like there was one item that I can think of was a broad fork, which was one of our main item, but it was like super sharp, super dangerous. And how do you ship that by UPS? I mean, if someone gets killed along the way, what happens? So then they're like different states, different insurance. I mean, it really got to be complicated. It really got to be actually expensive, even because we had to, buy inventory. And basically, we didn't really have a plan. We had a vision. We had good intention, but anyway, it didn't really work out. And just for the fun of it, maybe I can play this little video that I really like. I don't know if you'll have sound, but for your entertainment. That's me. I don't know, I just think it's really cool. So we had a good time, but we didn't even make money, and we tried. And so, after a while, when I think back, I say, okay, something I learned about growing food or growing anything, I think you have to have a good, the dirt, and then you put a seed, and then, you put water, you put sun, and it grows. And I think one thing that we didn't do right, that we thought, okay, we got to sell vegetables, but we didn't think about, well, we have to grow them first. And it was really stupid, but basically my solution to this great idea would have been to just keep the projects, to keep our job, and maybe start with this fabulous cap that everybody wanted, and just start with a cap, and then go with a T-shirt, and maybe go with gloves, and then maybe build it maybe more slowly instead of trying to have an online store with 50 items and blah blah blah. So anyway. So that's something that I learned, and then to me was quite a failure, because I've got people, and I get really into it, and I talk about this, and I'm sure of myself, and then I have 2 kids, and my kids are full on into it, and then then you have to say, well, that didn't work, so what do I do now? And we were talking earlier about finding a job, or I do, get jobs now and then, consultant, but entrepreneurship is so strong in me that I can't really get involved as much as I should. So basically, I'm not a good employee. But in between, I had to say, well, that didn't work, and explain that to your kids. And it's just like, things happen like that in business, and try to doubt yourself. And then actually, I don't know if I have more time, but I'll take it if you don't mind. Okay, thanks. So I did some restaurants, and I did some things. I did jobs just to bring in some money so that I don't get too much involved. I was actually doing painting when I thought, okay, I'm going to do this next one. I'm really going to try it, because I have been thinking about this. And if I go back to all the links, when I was in Growers & Co., I went to a fair one day, and there was these toilets. With compost toilets, and I don't know why, but I really got fascinated by it. I was like, okay, wow, you don't need water, you put rip, and wow, and it was, it's just something, it got into me. And then when I was at C2 Montreal and everywhere, I started looking at toilets, bathrooms, and how come that, you do an event like at C2 Montreal, and it's super fabulous, and then you go into the bathrooms, and I don't know about you think, but it always is really bad, the experience. So I like to see things that sucks and make it fabulous. And so I started this next one, which is, for those of you, whoa, I fucked up. No. So this is my new business, which is going really well. And so how that happened is that when I was painting, actually, 2 weeks before C2, I said, okay, how am I going to get in there this year? I'm not working there. They didn't invite me. It's cost about $3,000 to get in. How could I make it there this year? And I had this idea in my head all those years, like, got to do something about those bathrooms. It's really bad, So I called them up and says, hey, you know, I would like to try something with you. And anyway, within 24 hours, I had a budget. So I did the vision, and basically what we do now is that, you know, I really went, like, you know, people say you have to pivot sometime, but I went from feeding people to taking care of, you know, the other hand. So never give up, you know. You never know where it's going to come from, but really there's always hope, you know. So basically, to do it quickly, like Aviné is like, we optimize the bathroom experience. I did this in English finally, yeah, but so, you know, basically we take the facilities that are there and we put high-end products, we put flowers, oils, we put music, we put everything you need during an event, depending if it's a conference or if it's a party. I mean, we have it all, and it's no tips. It's really the event that pays for it or the sponsors that pays for it. We do facilities outside. That's C2 Montreal this year. So we basically run these. We optimize them inside, outside, and we even do the chemical toilets, which we actually hide in there. And then we had a sponsorship from Caprina, and we make all this nice, and then people wait in line, and they go there, they wash their hands, they get cream and all that, and they go back to do their yoga. And we have a nice team that are actually very happy to work in the bathrooms. I like to, you know, I said we have, just like Growers & Co., where I said, okay, we have to rebrand farming. I said, now we have to rebrand the bathrooms. So that was even a bigger challenge, you know, after that fail. So I had another video, but I think it's going to take too long at this point. But you can go on lecabinet.com and check it out. Thank you very much.
Questions? Questions? Oui.
Yes. Oh, that you didn't get that. I really fucked up. Yeah. Yeah. Growers & Co. was a fuck up that led me to this idea. I just wanted to do the link between it because it's not the end of the story, a fuck up, you know? Well, one thing that made really a lot of sense with this one is that I didn't, first of all, I did it alone, you know, and I really went with my vision completely, which, you know, that changed a lot of things. And the other thing was that this business model didn't need any investment. It was just something where, you know, I basically, I didn't have any more money anyway. So that was one thing that was really hard firstly, when you have kids, I didn't have $1,000 to put in the business. You know, it was really about, you know, I put what I had in the other one, and then I was like, okay, am I going to find a job, or how can I start a business without any money? And that's why it made sense to start this one, because basically, and we still do it now, is that if I have a budget, you give me an amount, and I can activate it and get the staff and get products. So basically, that's how I build it, and it started really slow. It started really small events, and now we did Formula Electric this year. We did, you know, so, you know, but growing organically.
Formula.
Something I learned.
No question? Other questions? Have you ever, so many businesses, plein des entreprises that you started, you ever been, with the knowledge you have today, forget the money for a second, if you can, you ever been tempted to go back to one of them and say, I can make it work now?
Yes. But you have
what stops you?
Well, this one is working, so it's really about focusing on, you know, what's working right now, and I think I could go back. I mean, sometimes I'm still tempted to go sell those caps, but I think it's about timing, and I think with what we have there, it's the right timing. I think Growers & Co. will work, and it's actually inspired other growers, other farmers to do it. Curtis Stone, a friend of ours, is actually doing it under another name and promoting it. And he's a, you know, small scale farmer, and he's really good at it, and he's promoting it. And so it actually inspired a lot of people anyway. So maybe we didn't make any money, maybe it didn't last, but it did a lot more that we can't even see, I think, you know. But I mean, yeah, I could go back eventually if the timing is right and the money's there.
Exactly. Questions?
Patrice, c'est drôle, en t'écoutant, je me dis, tu es comme au service d'idées comme entrepreneur. Puis j'ai l'impression que tu parles de Growers & Co. puis des cabinets, puis c'est des choses que tu as créées comme pour toi, qui t'appartiennent, entre guillemets, mais j'ai pas l'impression que c'est important, tu sais, comme c'est pas ça qui est important. C'est quoi ta relation avec comme la possession ou la maîtrise des idées? Est-ce que c'est quelque chose c'est comme un bébé ou c'est quelque chose pour toi qui est plus grand?
Mais puis maintenant, je dirais que j'ai été longtemps en tant que créateur beaucoup à la phobie de se faire voler des idées, tu sais, vraiment. Puis c'est arrivé, tu sais. Je veux dire, il y a des slogans, il y a des trucs, des fois je parle trop. Puis, mais je pense qu'au final, encore aujourd'hui, j'en parle ouvertement quand même. Puis je ne suis pas quelqu'un qui est dans le légal, puis dans, tu sais, parce qu'il faut quand même le faire. Je pense que peut-être avec l'expérience, à un moment donné, je suis beaucoup moins attaché à ça. Puis tant que ça l'a, tu sais, I think it's good if you can say, go ahead, copy me. Tu sais, copy me. Go ahead, it's good for humanity. Tu sais, c'est comme, go ahead, it's not only about the money. Parce que je vis un peu comme si j'ai vraiment tout ce que je veux finalement. Tu sais, moi, avec le setup, déjà, disons que c'est plus confortable que c'était. Puis j'ai eu des moments très rough, puis je ne suis pas gêné de le dire, que j'ai plus une scène, là, tu sais, puis j'ai 43 ans. Là, fait qu'à 41, en plus, en tant qu'entrepreneur à haut de 40 ans, quand tu fails puis que tu n'as pas 1000$, tu te poses la question, veux-tu me trouver une job? Mais tu sais, à un moment donné, si tu sais que tu ne seras pas heureux avec le salaire qu'ils vont te offrir, puis il n'y a pas plus que ça après, bien, à un moment donné, c'est tout temporaire, fait que tu n'as pas le choix de revenir à ça. Mais en tout cas, je suis content aujourd'hui, disons, mais non pas attaché. Je pense que si encore dernièrement, j'ai eu un meeting avec quelqu'un, que je suis sorti du meeting, puis j'ai fait, si j'aurais dû faire signer une lettre de confidentialité, tu sais. Puis tout de suite après, j'ai fait non, parce que tu sais, les téléphones, puis la vibe que ça m'a donné, l'énergie que ça m'a donné après pour justement encore le réaliser de tout ce que j'ai dit, justement, comme even faster, I think it's better to open up than to keep it stuck. You know, the energy needs to move.
Une question ici?
Je voulais juste savoir si ça serait ta dernière entreprise ou s'il y en a une prochaine qui s'en vient.
Is there another?
Yes, there is. Je suis entrepreneur en série, puis tu sais, je veux dire, comme bien du monde, je pense qu'on a été inspiré comme des Richard Branson de ce monde, mais je pense que j'ai d'autres idées. Mais avec la sagesse, je sais qu'il y en a déjà une autre en tête, mais vraiment, plus que jamais, celle-là est encore à la phase 1, puis j'en ai pour 20 ans à réaliser la vision que j'ai, que je veux réaliser. Puis cela étant dit, ça ne veut pas dire qu'il ne peut pas en avoir une connect éventuellement, mais là-dessus, c'est timing, puis sagesse, puis slowly. Like, I could start something tonight, mais tu sais, je ne vais pas switcher. Là, c'est comme...
One question in the back. Yeah.
Merci beaucoup d'en avoir parlé. Puis écoute, je deviens émotif à répondre sincèrement parce que, comme j'ai dit, dans un point dans ma vie, c'était très difficile. Puis il y a des choses, c'est le poids, en fait, de dire I'm an entrepreneur. Hey, I said fuck. I'm an entrepreneur and there's nothing I can do about it, but I got to keep going if it didn't work yet. Puis vraiment, puis c'est un bon endroit pour le lancer, mais je veux sincèrement, si je peux partir un concours où est-ce qu'on doit être 40 ans minimum avec au moins 2 enfants en tant qu'entrepreneur, on va donner des bourses. I don't know how we're going to start it. We can start with $500, mais déjà, ça serait tellement innovateur parce que tous les concours que je connais, c'est 39 ans et moins. Puis c'est le terme jeune entrepreneur, c'est super. Tu sais, c'est à la mode même. Je veux dire, ma première business, c'était au primaire. Je vendais du Quick en 3e année. Je pense que ça a tout le temps été en moi. Puis je pense que je ne suis pas tout seul. Mais il faut vraiment mettre plus l'emphase là-dessus. Je trouve que c'est un angle mort qui est comme nonsense. Tu sais, c'est 40 ans et plus, je veux dire, ça peut être, tant mieux, on est en Amérique, il y a des pays qui sont c'est moins bien vu quelqu'un qui se réinvente à 50 ans. Mais je veux dire, I hope I'm still doing new businesses and new projects at 80. Tu sais, puis tant mieux si je peux avoir un peu d'aide, parce que ça ne s'en va pas tout le temps comme on voudrait. Puis exactement, mais super bon point, c'est un fail. That's fucked up.
At 80, you're going to come back to this business because it'll be different shit. That's good.
Yeah, we'll see. But you know, there's a lot to do with shit. You know, we didn't experience everything with that.
Well, juste, OK, on va prendre une dernière question, puis...
Ben, je pense, je pense un peu comme Julian il mentionnait, tu sais, David, son partner, j'étais un peu comme ça, je suis très, OK, that's a good idea, just gonna do it, tu sais. Puis des fois, il y a peut-être des moments que, tu sais, il aurait peut-être été bon de calculer un peu, tu sais, qui fait comme à un moment donné, c'était comme, wow, tu sais, ou la première conférencière qui a dit, well, if you don't have the money, tu sais, it's hard to spend it, tu sais, quand tes cartes de crédit sont loadées en plus, là. Mais c'est pour ça que, tu sais, si on est capable de trouver des trucs qui... Puis il y en a, tu sais, il y a encore, il faut juste regarder, j'ai tout le temps de regarder dans d'autres directions. On a tout le temps le business model de là, en ce moment, les startups avec les investors, tout ça, c'est populaire. Puis là, you have to find a project, you have to find investors, mais il y a aussi des projets qu'on peut partir de rien. Il y a vraiment des projets qu'on peut partir avec 100 pièces, je pense, si on y pense un peu, ou si on est capable d'avoir dans notre réseau, d'aller voir nos forces, tu sais, puis c'est une autre chose de les forces, c'est que si ce projet-là complète vraiment bien toutes mes forces d'événementiel, sponsorship, expérience client, tout ça, encore plus que Growers & Co. Mais ça, c'est une autre chose que tu découvres avec des fois dans des projets qui tu pensais qu'ils étaient pour toi, mais qui étaient plus ou moins totalement pour toi. Mais pour répondre à ta question, je pense qu'à un moment donné, le manque d'argent, c'est difficile d'arrêter quand tu es un entrepreneur et que ça fonctionne. On est allé jusqu'au fond jusqu'à temps qu'il n'y en avait plus de fond.
Merci. On va remercier nos 3 conférenciers.
Merci beaucoup.
Claudine, Julien, Patrice, and of course, Jason, who came in from Ottawa, and we're not mentioning Toronto. He came in from Ottawa, and he was Canada's first fuck-upper in this long line of fuck-uppers. Et aussi notre équipe, Natalie, of course, Louis-Félix Spinette, and Vanessa Mugler. On behalf of the 4 of us, I don't know if there was anything else, but on behalf of the 4 of us, Natalie wants to say something. Alors, on va laisser la parole. No? Correct?
Find the fun.
Just find the fun. Follow us, Fuckup Nights Montreal, Fuckup Nights Worldwide, Failure Institute. Tout le monde peut apprendre, and we all have to learn from each other. Merci. Stick around. Les conférenciers restent toujours ici. Il y a plein de bières. There's still some popcorn and lots of stories to tell. Thank you very much.